All right, can you guys hear me now? If you can hear me, please say yes. I think I fixed it, and you should be able to hear me now. Yep. Somebody please say yes if you can hear me. No? Yes. Awesome. All right, people can hear me. All right. Hello, everybody. I can see a lot of awesome people here today, as usual. Patricia is back. Hello, Patricia. And Jacqueline, and Dashti, and Ayub, and Paolo, and Rosa is here also. I don't know where Julian is. I don't see Julian in the chat today. Hi, Karim. Hi, Rosa. Very nice of you to come again, as usual. Thank you very much for always coming to my classes. So, all right. So let's start. So, hello, everybody. My name is Karim. If you have never been here before, or this is your first time, I'm a teacher at Canadian College of English Learning and also at Canadian College. And I've been here for almost 6 years now, almost 6 years, and I've been using Smrt ever since I started here. Garima is joining the chat. Hello, Garima. Very nice of you to come. And Ghazlain is also here. Awesome. People are starting to slowly come into the lesson, which is great. So I've been working for about 6 years. I've been teaching Smrt English for all this time here, and I'm teaching a couple of college courses at Canadian College. So thank you very much for coming to this class and watching me. So I have a few things that I want to announce this week before we begin. And so let me just show you the screen here so you guys know what I'm talking about. Okay, so let me take this out of the way. All right, so Smrt have started a new channel on YouTube with, so it's a little bit different than Smrt English, right? So Smrt English, usually we do these live classes, and the classes are an average, anywhere from 1 hour, sometimes an hour and a half, depending, right? Because it's a full class. Now I know that that's long, and these are long videos usually, right? And I thank you guys for actually watching them. It makes us very, very happy. But we also started this new channel, and it's called English in 60 Seconds, right? So just as you can see, this is the channel. It looks like this. It's called English in 60 Seconds, and the idea is we want to make a lot more shorter videos, right? So it's like little bits of or nuggets, right? Nugget is just a word that means a small amount, right? So little nuggets of information that we will make short videos about, just like this very first video that talks about say and tell. And and yeah, so you'll be seeing lots of uploads to 60-second English from basically different Smrt teachers, right? So Sean, myself, and anybody else who teaches Smrt, basically. But yeah, but I beat Sean. I was first. I made the first video before he did. So I have the first video on the new channel. So yeah, so don't forget to subscribe to it, please. Go over there and subscribe and like and do all the awesome internet stuff that we do. And that's it, right? So this is the new channel, English in 60 Seconds. And of course, you guys are watching me on my channel, right here. Don't forget, you can check out my Twitter, which is Karim Smrt Live. Or you can also check out my Instagram, which is also Karim Smrt Live. My Facebook is called Karim Live, right? Without Smrt. I don't know why, but it's called Karim Live. So you guys can check me on there. And if you guys, Khalafawi from Algeria says, hello Khalafawi, very nice of you to come to the channel. Thank you so much. And JB is back. Very nice to have you, JB, in the class again. Awesome. All the usual suspects are starting to arrive. So that's very good. So yeah, and if you guys don't know, I have another YouTube channel on YouTube that is not related to English, right? So I actually have a cooking channel, right? So if you guys like food, and if you like to watch interesting and very awesome kind of foods, you can go and check out my other food channel. And this is the name of my food channel, right? So it's called Food AF. So please go check me out over there and subscribe to me over there also. I try to make a new food video every week. And yeah, it's pretty fun, right? So it's not English, but I talk in English, so you can practice listening, which is cool. Yeah, and that's pretty much it. So don't forget, 60-second English. Follow me on my Twitter, my Instagram, my Facebook, and my other food channel. And that is pretty much it. Mariam just entered to the classroom, but she's saying no sound. I thought I fixed the sound. Somebody said that the sound is okay now. But Patricia says, I gain weight with food AF. Well, I hope it's happy weight, right? If it's happy weight, that's okay, Patricia, right? As long as we enjoy ourselves, it's okay. But in moderation, of course. But thank you. I'm happy you watched the channel. 60-second English says, we can hear you. So, Mariam, I don't know what's wrong. Try, maybe your volume is down and you did not notice, or try refreshing the page. Just refresh the page. Usually, sometimes that fixes it. But yeah, the sound is working. The sound is fine. Everybody else can hear me. All right, great. Okay, so let's begin. And because I know you guys are going to ask me this in the chat section, I'll just answer before you guys ask. Sean told me to tell you guys to expect him to come back sometime in October, right? So middle of October. Hopefully Sean will be a little bit freer by then, and he should start streaming again, right? So if you're going to ask me about Sean, you don't have to anymore, right? Sean should be back in the middle of October. All right, so let's begin. So before we start, let me do the movie quote of the week. So last week I gave you guys a movie quote from one of my favorite movies ever, and I asked you guys to tell me what movie it was, and a few of you answered. Thank you very much for that, and you all got it right. So this was the quote. The quote was, "Go on, put the kettle on. Sugar. Now thank you, Turkish. I'm sweet enough." And this is a quote from one of my favorite movies ever, and the movie is called Snatch. If you guys have not seen that movie, so this one right here, this movie, right? If you have not seen this movie, I really recommend that you do. It is one of my top 10 favorite movies, and I love it, right? So go check it out. It's a very, very cool movie, and I think you guys will enjoy it. Yeah, and stick to the end of the lesson. Stick around to the end of the lesson, and I will give you this week's movie quote. So yeah, so wait for that. All right, so let's begin here. Yassine just came into the class. Hello, Yassine. Thank you very much for joining. All right, so let us begin, you guys. Noura, hello, Noura. Lots of people are starting to trickle in now, which is great. All right, so let's talk about what are we doing this week. And this week we are doing another grammar lesson. So we are continuing with our grammar. So if you guys remember, last week we started in Unit 2, right, in Smart English 120, which is the intermediate sort of level of Smart here. So last week we started the grammar of Unit 2. We did 2-1 present simple the week before that, and last week we continued. We did the present continuous, and this week we are continuing with state and dynamic verbs. So this is what we are going to do today: state and dynamic verbs. So let's see what all that is about. Hello, 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 hello. Everybody's coming into the chat and saying hello, hello everyone, and welcome. Okay, so let's just get into it. All right. Okay, so here we go. State and dynamic verbs. So we have an example here. I'm just going to read the example, and we'll slowly go through the lesson and explain everything. So one person is talking to another, and they are saying, "Are you feeling better today? You were pretty sick yesterday." And then the person answers, "Yes, I feel much better today. Thank you." Okay, so you can see some words here are highlighted, right? Some of them are blue, some of them are green. So let's go see what all that is about. Okay, So first of all, we're going to talk about full verbs, right? So not helping verbs, right? Full verbs. So full verbs that are dynamic. Most verbs are dynamic. Now, what does the word dynamic mean, right? Dynamic means that some kind of action is happening, right? It's not something that you can't see in front of your eyes. So for example, let's take a look over here. It says most full verbs are dynamic. These verbs are usually physical actions, right? These verbs are usually physical actions, which you can see somebody doing, right? So for example here, they gave you an example and it says to run, right? So if I'm running, that's a verb, right? But you can see me running, right? So when I'm running, we call this a dynamic action, right? That means something that has motion to it, right? You can see it in front of you. It's changing in front of you, right? The action is happening and you can see it. So this is what we mean by dynamic. Whenever we say dynamic from now on, that's basically what we mean. So some people are giving examples. Yes, like walk, eat, move, play, swim, cook. Yes, excellent. All of these are very good examples, JB, of dynamic verbs. All right. Now, the important thing to note about dynamic full verbs is these verbs can be used in both the simple and the continuous tenses, right? So one more time, dynamic verbs are verbs that usually are a physical kind of action. You can see it happening in front of you. The important thing to remember about it is we can use these dynamic verbs in both, right? So the simple tense, any kind of simple tense, and any kind of continuous tense. Very good. So they gave us a few examples here. These are all examples of dynamic verbs. So to run, right? If somebody is running in front of you, you can see that, right? So it's dynamic. To walk, if somebody is walking, again, you can see that happen in front of you. So we call it dynamic. To eat, right? If I'm eating, right, you can see me do that. To fly, to say, well, I don't know about to fly. Can we fly? I wish I could fly like Superman. That would be good. Even though I don't actually like Superman, he's not my favorite superhero, but it would still be cool to fly. To say, right? When I'm saying something, again, this is a dynamic verb. You can see me, right? You can see my mouth moving. You can hear the sound coming out of my mouth. There's action happening, right? So you can call it a dynamic verb. Or to touch. So all of these are examples of dynamic full verbs. Now, remember, we said that we can use these dynamic verbs both in simple and in continuous tenses. So Noura gave an example. She's saying, watch, I am watching Karim's class. Yes, that is a very good example of a dynamic verb. Very, very good. Yep, very good. Okay, so let's take a look at these examples. So one more time, remember, we can use dynamic full verbs in present tense and in continuous tense, right? Sorry, simple tense, I meant to say, not present, right? So we can use it in both simple and continuous tenses. So let's take a look at this guy. So this guy is sitting on his couch, and he says, I eat dinner every day. I eat dinner every day. Now, he's not using it in the continuous tense, which means he's not doing it now. You can't see him, right? But the action or the verb to eat is dynamic, right? If you do it, when you do it, it is dynamic, right? You can see a person do it if they do it, right? So that's why we said we can also use it in the present simple, right? Or in the simple tenses, any kind of simple tense. So I eat dinner every day. In the present continuous, again, no problems. We can use dynamic verbs. I am eating dinner now. So just like the example that Noura gave, I am watching Karim's class. I am eating dinner now. So that's very important to remember, you guys, right? We can use it in the simple tenses, and we can also use it in the continuous tenses. So these are the things that you should try to remember. There's a black thing here. I don't know what that is. I don't know why it's like that. Can we, if I change the camera? No. Oh, nope. Oh, there we go. It's gone. All right. Cool. Okay. Garima says something in action. Yeah, right. That's why it's dynamic, because it's an action that you can that you can see. Very good. All right, let's carry on. Right, full verbs that are stative. So stative in the sense when we talk about stative verbs in grammar explanations, what we mean is usually these are verbs that you cannot see somebody doing, right? So it's a verb, it's still an action, but you can't really see it, right? That's why it's not, we don't call it dynamic, right? Because there's nothing really happening or going on that you can visually see with your eyes. They are usually not in the continuous tenses, right? So that's a very important distinction, or that's a very important difference, right? That you should remember. So in dynamic verbs, we said that we can use them both in the simple, and we can also use it in the continuous tense. But when we're talking about stative verbs, so verbs that you cannot see with your eyes, it says they are usually not used in the continuous tense, right? So some examples of verbs that are stative verbs are like these words in front of us right now. So we're going to divide them into a few different categories, right, or titles, and we'll see what they mean. So first of all, we are dividing stative verbs into the first category, which is called a mental state, right? So mental means something related to your mind, right? The way you feel, right? How do you feel, right? So mental comes from your mental state or your mind. So verbs like believe. If I say to you, I believe that tomorrow is going to be the 26th of whatever, right? Or if I say, I believe what you said, you can't really see my belief, right? Like, you can trust me, right? Or you cannot trust me. But when I say that, it doesn't matter how I say it, you will never see it, right? You can't really see belief inside a person. If I say I don't like, now I know, yes, we can show it with our faces, of course, right? Like I can go like this and you'll know that I'm not happy about something. But in general, when you don't like something, if you dislike something, it's something that nobody can really see, right? And that's where the word stative means, right? Or that's what the word stative means in this example. Doubt, right? Doubt, when you don't completely trust something, or when you're not completely sure about something, right? You have doubt. Hate, know, to like something, to love, right? If I say I love chocolate, and I do love chocolate, but if I say I love chocolate, you can't really see my love, right? You can believe what I say, you can understand it, but you can't really see it, right? Prefer, when I like something more, right, than something else. To realize, right? To know, to realize, to know. To remember, to see, or to understand, right? So see in the sense of understand. I see what you mean. Like when you say, I see what you mean, right? To think or to feel, to have an opinion. If you say to somebody, I think that is not correct, or I think I saw him yesterday, or whatever you want to say, right? If you say, I think, nobody can see your thinking, right? So that's what we mean by stative verbs, and I hope that is clear for you guys. And these are just the rest of the examples, right? To understand, to want, to wish, or anything like that. So any of these words we call mental state, right? Or in general, just stative verbs. Okay, we have more stative verbs also in this example. So, for example, we have also senses. So senses are the 5 human senses, right? So to feel, to look, to smell, sound, right? And taste. So all of these verbs, we also consider them stative, right? You cannot really see this happening. Some other verbs. Noura is, we can say, okay, so Noura is asking a question. She says, can we say, I hear you? And when she's saying, can I say it to mean that I understand you? Yes, you absolutely can, yes. So if somebody says, yeah, if somebody's trying to explain something to you, Or if somebody's sharing how they feel about something and you want to tell them, yes, I know what you mean, or yes, I understand. Yeah, it's some people would say, I hear you. I hear what you're saying, right? That's another way to say it. You can say, I hear what you're saying, which means, yes, I understand what you're saying, right? I know what you mean, right? Yes, that is, I would say you definitely can say that. JB says, you can also say, I get you. Yeah, you can. You can also say, I get you. Adrian, hello, Adrian. Thank you for joining the class. Welcome. It's nice to have you. All right, so some other examples of stative verbs, right? So we have agree, to agree with somebody, right? I can say I agree with that opinion. Again, you can't really see me agreeing, right? It's not something that you can see with your eyes. It's not like when I say I'm walking, right? Or I'm running. Of course, be, to belong, contain, depend, deserve, disagree, fit, have, hear, include, lack, matter, mean, need, to owe somebody, right? To own something, to promise, if something seems, right, or looks like something, way, right? So all of these are examples of stative verbs, right? So remember, usually stative verbs, right, an easy way to figure it out is just ask yourself, right? Can I see this verb happening? And if the answer is no, then it's a stative verb, right? If you can see it, it is a dynamic verb. Noura says, great, thank you. You're welcome, right? So awesome. Noura gets the point that she was asking about. Very good. And this is Mark. All right, so very quickly, just let's make a very quick recap here, right? So going back, what did we talk about so far? We said full verbs that are dynamic, right? So full verbs, not helping verbs. We're not talking about helping verbs. So full verbs that are dynamic usually means that there is a physical action that you guys can see, right? You can see the action happening, and there's action in it. The important rule that we should remember here is we can use full dynamic verbs in simple, and we can also use them in continuous tenses, right? So just like the example down here, it says, I eat dinner every day in the present simple, or I am eating dinner right now. And this is in the present continuous, right? So it doesn't matter if it's this one or that one, both of them work fine. Let me just check that nobody is asking about anything. How many kind of, I don't know, you can also say, yeah, everybody is okay so far, so very good. The second type of verbs that we're talking about today are stative verbs, and they're the opposite, right? So stative verbs are verbs you can't see with your naked eye, right? Or with your eyes. You cannot really see the verbs happening. And the most important difference is they usually are not used in the continuous tense, right? So we don't use stative verbs usually in the continuous tense, right? And then we talked about some of them, right? Like mental states or your senses, and a small bunch of other words there. Okay, now let's talk about full verbs that are mixed. Okay, so full verbs that are mixed. Let's see what the box says. So the box says these verbs have more than one meaning. In a way, each meaning is a unique verb, right? So unique means it's not similar to anything else, right? It has its own meaning, right? That's not related or similar to other things. So one more time, these verbs have more than one meaning depending on the way that you use them. And in a way, each meaning is a unique sort of verb, right? So some meanings behave like state verbs, while other meanings behave like dynamic verbs, right? So you're using the same verb, but one time the way that you use it, right, the verb seems like it's a stative, right, or a state verb, and if you use it in a different way, it can become or act like a dynamic verb. And that's why we say mixed, right? Because sometimes they can be this way, sometimes they can be that way. JB says, I am absorbing. Good, JB. I want you guys to absorb as much information as you can. That's good. Okay, so let's excuse me. Let's take a look at the same verb with different meanings, right? So on the left-hand side here, we're going to have some examples of the verb in a stative sense, and on the right, we are going to have examples of the verb as a dynamic verb, right? So for example, the verb have. The verb have. If you say, I have $1, right? You can't really see have in this sense, right? So if I'm walking, for example, or if I'm just standing and I'm talking with you, right, and I have $1 in my pocket, you can't see the dollar in my pocket, right? And I'm just telling you, hey, I have $1, right? So in this case, you can't really see the action, right, happening. That's why we do not consider it to be dynamic in this sense. So it becomes a stative verb, right? Or it's used in a stative way. All right, now let's take a look at the same verb, right? So I just said I have $1, but let's say how we can use it in a dynamic way. So if I say I am having fun, I am having fun. Now, usually if you're having fun, you can see the person enjoying himself, right? Like if somebody says I'm having fun and they're just standing like this and not moving, that's weird, right? That would be very strange. So usually if somebody's having fun, right, you can see them, right? They're enjoying themselves, they're laughing, they're smiling, right? They're having a good time, right? You can see that they are having fun. It's clear that they are having fun to you. So this is an example where it becomes, right, or it behaves, it acts like a dynamic verb. Paulo says, could you zoom in, please? I think I did not change the zoom, Paulo. I'm zoomed in 150%. If I zoom in any more, well, yeah, okay. I guess we can do it like this. It's not too bad. I can still sort of see things. But yeah. Oh, and JB told Paulo that he can switch to theater mode. Excellent suggestion. Thanks, JB. Noura is saying, what a weird thing to say for no reason. Hey, I have $1. well, yes, it is a very weird thing to say for no reason. We're just using it for an example, right? So just, yeah, it is definitely very weird. If you just suddenly you're like, hey, I have $1. Yeah, no. We're just using it for an example, right? But yeah, she knows that. She's smiling and laughing in the comment section. Rosa says, so if I say I'm feeling sad, am I wrong? I'm feeling sad. No. Nope, you are definitely not. If it's visible, then no, it's fine. Patricia says, I'm having great time with Karim's class. Very good. I would just add one thing to your sentence, Patricia. I would say I'm having a great time, right? I'm having a or a great time with Karim's class. Very good. Yes, very good. JB is doing an excellent job of explaining a lot of little things to everybody else in the chat that I don't always see or catch quickly. So thank you, JB, for that. I appreciate it. All right, let's take a look at another example of have in a dynamic sense, right? So you can say she is having a shower, right? So you guys know this as a collocation, right? Collocations usually are words in English that we always say together, right? Not for any specific rule or grammar rule or anything. It's just because that's how we say things, right? So words that we always use together, we call this collocations. So for example, to have a shower, right? Another collocation is to take a shower, right? It doesn't mean you're taking it, right? It just means you are in the process of washing yourself in the shower, right? Noel says, hello, Karim. Hello, Noel. Thank you for coming very much to the class. Nice to have you. So she is having a shower. So again, have, if I say I have something, like I have $1, I have a phone, I have an appointment, something like that, you can't really see have in this sense, so it's stative. But she is having a shower, right? You can definitely see somebody having a shower. I would not recommend that you do that. You should not watch people having showers. But if you look at somebody having a shower, you can definitely see it, right? And that's why it's behaving like a dynamic verb here. We are having a meeting at 3 p.m., right? We are having a meeting at 3 p.m., right? And this is very similar, right? If you guys remember when we did grammar 1-3, so you can check that out. All right, another verb. It says, look, Nancy looks tired. Nancy looks tired. Adrian is asking a question. He's saying, Karim, is it the same to say taking a shower and I'm having a shower? Yes, right? Both of them are exactly the same meaning. There's no difference, right? So yeah, to have a shower or to take a shower, both are exactly the same. All right, so look, Nancy looks tired, right? Nancy looks tired. This picture looks nice. This movie looks interesting, right? These are all examples of stative verb, of look. And if I say, for example, Farah is looking at the pictures, right? I can see Farah looking at the pictures, right? So she's standing there and she's actively looking, right now. So you can see that, and that's why it's dynamic. See is the same thing. You can say, I see her, or I can see her, right? I can see her, or I see. Like you guys said before, I see means I understand. All right, so Rosa saying, thanks, JB. I asked because Karim said it can't be used in the continuous tense. Okay, wait. Let me just see what was Rosa asking about. She was asking about... I lost it in the chat. I can't see where it was. But she was talking, Rosa was asking about something that we said, so over here, they are usually not used in the continuous tense, right? So JB says there are always exceptions. That's a good answer to a lot of questions that we get in English. I'm sure you guys noticed by now, right? English is the language of exceptions. There's exceptions to everything. But please notice the word says what? It says they are usually, right? Usually. That means most of the time, right? Not always. Most of the time. So Garima says, why Nancy looks tired. You can see Nancy by her face that she is tired. Well, think of it this way, Garima. It's the same way when you say, like the example that I just gave, right? So if I don't know, if I'm watching something and I say, oh, this looks interesting, or this looks like fun, or this whatever, right? In that sense, they usually mean that they're stative, right? As long as nobody is actively looking, right? If you cannot see somebody looking at something, right, then you can automatically just assume that it's a stative verb, right? You can think of it as a rule, right? Think of it this way: if I cannot see the person looking, right, then it's stative. Noura says she was asking about the verb feel. Patricia says looks like seems. Yes, very good, right? Exactly like seems, right? Not look as in the action to look at something. Yes, looks like seems, right? This movie looks fun. This movie seems fun. Appears to be, right? Similar to any of those meanings. Noura is saying she was asking about the verb feel. Rosa says usually is the key word. Yes, usually is definitely the key word there. All right, so let's see. She was asking about the word feel, right? So we said before, right, that so feel is here, right, in the under the stative, full verbs that are stative, right? So we talked about feel being here, and Rosa, I think she was asking, they are usually not used in the continuous tenses. And that's true, Rosa, but what did we say when we started explaining the bottom part? We said the other meaning behaves like a dynamic verbs, right? So it's like they're pretending to be dynamic verbs, right? They're behaving like them. They're not fully dynamic verbs, but they're trying to be. Think of it this way, right? It's like the verb is like, I don't want to be a stative verb anymore. Let me try to be a dynamic verb. But I hope that it makes sense when you look at the example, right? So if you can see the differences in the examples, that should make it a little bit clearer, right? So I have $1. You cannot see me when I say I have $1. You cannot see that. But where's the example for feel? Did we use one for feel? I don't think I said an example for feel. But yeah, the closest one to the feel example I would say is look, right? So look, like Nancy looks tired, and Farah is looking, right? So when you're looking, you're actively doing something. In this one, there's no active thing happening. Nothing is doing the verb of looking, right? Because it means here seems. Same thing with see. We talked about see already. Smell. If you say the coffee smells good, the coffee smells good, right? The coffee itself is not doing anything really, right? If you think about it, the coffee itself is not really doing anything. So when you say the coffee smells good, that's why we say that it's stative, right? There isn't a dynamic feeling to the sentence when you say the coffee smells good. But if you say I am smelling the coffee, now it's dynamic. You're conscious. You're actively doing something, right? Your brain is alert to you doing the action of smelling, right? You're going there. I'm smelling the coffee, right? Similar to here. I am smelling the flowers. You are looking fine today. I always hear this. You are looking fine today. I always hear this. Yeah, there's nothing wrong with that sentence. You are looking fine. JB says, what are you doing? I am smelling the roses. Very good. All these are correct. Smell, so we talked about smell. Taste, the wine tastes good, right? The wine tastes good. So I'm drinking coffee right now. So if I take a sip and I say, oh, the coffee tastes good. So again, the coffee itself is not doing anything, right? When I say tastes, I didn't say that I'm tasting it. And the coffee itself is not doing anything that is related to taste, right? And that's why it's stative, right? So the coffee tastes good. But if you say I am tasting the coffee, the difference is I'm thinking about it. I am conscious, right? I am the one who's making myself do the verb of tasting, right? And that's why we call it dynamic. That's why it's active, right? There's an action going on. Rosa says, great explanation, many thanks. Yes, Rosa gets it. Awesome. I feel good now. I feel good. Was that stative or dynamic? You guys should know by now. I feel good. All right, let's carry on. The last, I think that's almost, yeah, we're almost at the end of the lesson. Very good. Okay, next word is think. I think you are wrong. Now, again, think is from the sense of my opinion, right? I think you are wrong. You cannot see it, right? The Garima says state and Rosa says state. Yes, you guys are right, right? When I say, very good. That was correct. So I think you are wrong. It's a stative verb in this case because again, you cannot see a person thinking really, right? But if you say I am thinking, one more time now, remember, when it becomes dynamic, that means somebody is consciously choosing to do something and you can see it in front of you. And that's why we call it dynamic, right? So I'm thinking about the movie I saw last night, right? I'm thinking, I'm actively doing it. I am conscious. I know that I am doing this right now. And then there is a small note at the end here. It says there is no real difference in meaning. Noura has a few examples. Let's see what they are. So it says, I'm smelling the coffee. Yes, that is an example of a dynamic sentence. The coffee smells good. Not the coffee is smelling good. That's what I understand. Oh, are you asking, you mean like we can't say the coffee is smelling good? No, you can. It's yeah, you can. It's just a different word structure, right? It's a different sentence structure. But yeah, you definitely can say that. So just like you said in your in the chat a little bit earlier, you said people say you are looking fine today, right? It's no, there's nothing wrong with that. Nothing wrong with that. It's just a different structure. So yes, just like JB was saying, right? Noura, when you smell, you are actively choosing, right? You actively choose to smell the coffee. Very good, JB. JV is acing it today. If you guys watched my last phrases with Karim video, you guys should know what to ace something means. But yeah, JB is acing it today. Very good. All right, so the last last point that I just wanted to mention, it says here there is no real difference in the meaning when you say I don't feel well today or I am not feeling well today. And that's it, right? I'm not feeling well today. So you are looking fine today. So Noura, I hope this answers your question. Dashti is asking, can we use both verbs in the same sentence? I don't know what you mean exactly. Can you, if you write an example, it'll help me understand it more. Oh, I see. Okay, you mean can I use the same verb one time as a stative verb and the other time as a dynamic verb in the same sentence? Is this your question? I think that that's the question that you're asking. Dashti says yes. Oh, okay. All right. Let me think. Boom, boom, boom. I would say yes. So, for example, let's say. Okay, think of this. So I can say, I am smelling the coffee and it smells good, right? So I am smelling the coffee and it smells good. So, so yeah, yes, I guess the answer is yes. You can use both verbs in the same sentence. Patricia is asking, can I say, I feel good? Yes, of course you can. And that is an extremely famous song by James Brown. You guys know that song? The one that goes, I feel good. That song. So yes, you definitely can. You are welcome, Dashti. I hope, yeah, I hope that made sense. Thank you. You are welcome. Okay, so that's pretty much it, actually, you guys. Yeah, so this is today's lesson. So I'm just going to do a very quick recap, and I will get you guys to do a little exercises, and we will wrap things up. Adrienne is giving another example. It says the chef is tasting the hot soup and it smells. You need the S there, Adrienne. And it smells delicious. Yes, that is a very good example of using both stative and dynamic verbs in the same sentence. Adrienne says, sorry, he wanted to use smell. Oh, yes, smells. Yes, right? You get it. Very good. Yes, you definitely can. That's a very good sentence. Good job. All right, so one more time, the recap before we do some exercises. Remember, we're talking about state and dynamic verbs. Today, we said full verbs that are dynamic very simply means that the verbs are a physical action, right? And usually the person doing the action is aware, right, that the action is happening. That's basically how you can explain that. You can use them both in the simple and in the continuous tense, right? And we saw this guy here. He says, I eat dinner every day in the simple, present simple, or I am eating dinner now, present continuous, right? So it doesn't matter. You can use them in both. Full verbs that are stative, remember, means that you can't really see the verb happening, or there's nothing that knows or that is aware or that is conscious, right, that it's doing something. So that's why they're called stative. And usually, keyword, Rosa, is usually today used in the continuous tense. And some examples, we gave some examples of mental states, like believe, dislike, blah, 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 blah. And then we gave some example of the senses. Well, not some. There's only 5 senses, and they are feel, look, smell, sound, and taste. And then some extra verbs for you guys. Of course, there's more verbs than this, but these are some of them. And then we talked about full verbs that are mixed. So when we say mixed, what do we mean? We mean that sometimes, right, the way that you use a verb can give a stative meaning, like I have a dollar. And if you use it in a different way, it can act or behave like a dynamic verb, right? So same thing, I have a dollar, you can say I am having fun, right? Or she is having a shower. And that's it. And then for Noura, remember, we said there's no real difference in meaning. If you say, I don't feel well today, you can say the same thing just by saying, I am not feeling well today, right? So no difference in meaning whatsoever. You are saying exactly the same thing. All right, let's get you guys to do some exercises. And then we'll do the movie quote of the week, and then I will let you guys go. All right, so where are we? Let's, here we are. So let's see, let's get something that is a bit simple, or not too simple, but also something not too complicated that's going to take a long time. I think I wanted to do the second exercise. I think the second exercise was good. Yes, all right, so let's do this exercise. So it says complete the following sentences in either or either, right? In either or in either, the present simple or the present continuous, right? So that means you can get tricked. So please don't get tricked. And I just noticed that I was signed out, so just give me 1 second. Let me sign back in here. There we go. All right, so one more time. Complete the following sentences in either the present simple or the present continuous, right? So take a look at the picture, look at the sentence, and see what the best answer might be. So I'll just look at the first example with you guys. It says she, and between parentheses, right? So parentheses are these little things here, right? Another name for them that's pretty common is brackets. Some people say brackets, between brackets, or parentheses, right? So she, and then they're asking you to use the word have, which is between parentheses, a bath right now, right? So you can see the woman is sitting in the bath. She looks to be enjoying her bath very much, and she is having, right? So she is having a bath right now. And of course, if you guys have been following and you understood the lesson, you would know that this is an example of a dynamic verb. All right, so I'll give you guys a couple of minutes, and let's try to answer. Can I put? No, I can only put these 3. All right, so let's do these 3 first, and I will see you in a minute and a half, maybe a minute. We'll see. Right? All right, so let me go out of camera. How do I do this? And
5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
You'll never have the sacred stone.
Oh, this you crazy mother.
All right, so we're back and everybody's doing great. Very good. All right, so let's see what you guys did. So the first one says the man, and you have to use the verb taste that is between parentheses, the wine now. So let's see what you guys did. So by the way, you guys are doing awesome. You guys are always awesome. Every single week, you guys are awesome. And that makes me feel awesome. So thank you. Yeah, that's great. I'm very happy that you guys are picking up everything here. Okay, so let's see. We have the man is tasting the wine now. The man is tasting the wine. The man is tasting the wine. So Paulo, Patricia, Ayub, Dashti, Jacqueline, JB, Noura, Rosa, everybody. Yeah, everybody got this one absolutely correct. So awesome job. As usual, you guys. I am totally not surprised. Let me just make a copy here so that I can write in it. Yes. So where are we? So this is exercise number 2. So the man, all of you answered this correctly. Excellent job. The man is tasting the wine right now. And you guys should know that this is a dynamic verb, right? So it's an example of a dynamic state. Very good. The next one says, where's Luke? So it's a question. Where is Luke? He, and you have to use the verb see, the landlord, to talk about the increase in rent. So yeah, I'm sure that that's not a very happy conversation, but too bad for Luke. So let's see what you guys did, right? So this is which one is this? C. All right. So this is C. Most of you again answered. He is seeing the landlord. He is seeing the landlord to talk about. He's seeing the landlord to talk about. He's seeing. He's seeing. He's seeing. Everybody writes. He is seeing. Paulo says, "Congrats, Karim." Thank you very much, Paulo. I don't know what you are congratulating me on, but I'll take it. So thank you very much. I don't know for what though, but thanks. All right, so all of you, as usual, got this one right, and the answer is he's seeing the landlord to talk about the increase in rent. He is seeing, right? The landlord to talk about the increase in rent. Very well done. The next one is I, and then you have not, right? So it needs to be a negative. I not, and you have to use the verb think. The stove is working. Can you ask the landlord to fix it? So again, all of you guys wrote I don't. So I don't think the stove is working. I don't think. 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 Yep, everybody again. So Garima, Rosa, Adrian, Ayub, Paulo, boom, 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 boom. Noura, everybody. Yeah, everybody got this one again. Absolutely correct. So this is the answer again. Oh, what happened? So it should be I don't think the stove is working. So very well done, you guys. Good job. Let's just do one more, and I think we actually might be on time this week. Yeah, I'm not gonna make it a long class as usual. I really try to make it short, but yeah, sometimes, I mean, I can't just stop the lesson in the middle. I have to give you guys a full lesson. All right, I think, yes, we can fit 4 this time in the screen. All right, so I'll give you guys another 2 minutes, and I will be back. Whoopsh. Oh, that didn't work. One more time. Whoopsh. There we go. Okay, so you guys are doing so good. I'm very happy. All right, let's see. So E is we, or sorry, he. So he, and the verb that you have to use is have a party this weekend at his apartment. And of course, all of you guys answered this as usual very correctly. So E, let's see, he is having a party. He is having a party this weekend. He is having a party. He is having a party. So Patricia, Dashi, Rosa, Garima, Adrian, Paolo, Jacqueline, yeah, almost, not almost, actually, everybody. Yeah, everybody got this correct. Very good. So he is having a party on the weekend at his apartment. Very good. The next one, this coffee, and you have to make it a negative because, of course, there is the not in there. And then you have to use the verb taste, and then good. So this coffee, something good. This coffee, something good. That is in the negative. And this is F. So let's see. So yeah, so JB. The coffee does not taste good. The coffee does not taste good. Who else answered F? Paulo. The coffee does not taste good. Very good. Garima. The coffee does not taste good. Rosa, this coffee doesn't taste good. Very well. Noura, yeah, everybody again, you guys are doing fantastic. So yes, the answer, as all of you know, is this coffee doesn't taste good, right? So very good. G, I, and you have to use the verb see, my family next weekend for Thanksgiving. And you guys already wrote, let's see, where are you? So I am seeing my family next weekend. I'm seeing my family. I'm seeing my family. I'm seeing my family. Very good. So Paulo, Garima, Adrian, Dashti, Garima, Noura, and Rosa, and yeah, everybody again as usual. So very good. So I am seeing, right? So I am seeing my family next weekend for Thanksgiving. Very well done. Next, what do you think? The last one is, what do you think about the lease? Is it fair? What do you think about the lease? Is it fair? Okay, so this is H. So you guys wrote, what do you think about the lease? Is it fair? What do you think about the lease? What do you think about the lease? What do you think? 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 Yes, 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 yes. Everybody again did this. What do you think about the lease? Is it fair? So again, you guys are excellent. I can't get you guys to make a mistake here. I might have to change some things in the future. No, but really, you guys are doing a great job. So a virtual high five to everybody. Whoopsh. Very well done, you guys. And yeah, so that's pretty much it for today. This is the end of the actual lesson. But let's first do some the movie quote of the week, right? So the movie quote of the week this week is. And remember, guys, I'm going to show you the quote. Don't answer right now in the chat. Please answer in the comment section below the video. Right? If you answer in the chat after the stream is finished, after the lesson is finished, the chat box goes away, and I cannot see anything that anybody wrote in there. Right? So remember, if you want to answer what the movie is, make sure that you answer in the comment section below, and I always look at the comments. So. Just put it there and I will see it, right? So, all right, so this week's quote from one of my favorite movies also is, so this is last week's quote, and this week's quote is, no, not this, where did it go? Where is this week's? Oh, there we go. All right, one more time. And this is the quote, right? So, so I don't know. Yep, you guys can see this on the screen. Okay, now I'm gonna say the quote and I'm gonna act it out. And I need to put something in my mouth. So just give me a second here. So this should make this easier for you to know. All right, ready? So here we go. This is the quote. I'm gonna make him an offer he can't refuse. I'll say it one more time. Man. These quotes always make me laugh. All right, one more time. Here it goes. I'm gonna make him an offer he can't refuse. That sounded very bad, right? Try it one more time. I'm gonna make him an offer he can't refuse. All right, so all right, so that was that. If you guys know what movie this is from, please don't forget to put it in the comment section below, and I will get back to you on what the movie is next week. So this is it for this week's lesson. Please, 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 don't you guys forget to come and subscribe to my YouTube channel here. So don't forget the new English in 60 seconds. Go subscribe over there. You should be seeing videos from me and Sean and anybody else who joins the Smrt family. And I want to thank you guys because our subscriber numbers have been going up steadily. And where are we right now? We are 204 subscribers. But remember, our mission is to kill Sean's subscriber count, right? So Sean has also been steadily going up, and yeah. So we need to pick up the pace, you guys. Come on, let's beat Sean's subscriber number. I want to beat Sean's subscriber number. Just to beat Sean. I don't really. It doesn't do anything for me personally, but I just want to know that I can beat Sean's subscriber number. Oh man. All right, so thank you again for subscribing to my channel. Please don't forget to subscribe everywhere, to like the videos, share them with your friends, and yeah, comment down below, you guys. I read all the comments and I answer as much as I possibly can whenever I can, right? So if you want to connect with me, just leave a comment down below, or you can hit me up on Twitter. So Karim Smrt Live on Twitter. My Instagram, same thing, Karim Smrt Live. The Facebook is called Karim Live without the Smrt for absolutely no good reason. But yeah, you can still find me on Facebook at Karim Live. And of course, don't forget my other food channel, right? So you can check out my food channel, Food AF, if you are hungry or if you eat like the rest of us. Yeah, so that's it. So thank you guys for coming. I will definitely see you next Wednesday, unless something physical happens to me. And yeah, so a lot of people are saying thank you in the chat. You are very, very, very welcome. It's my pleasure, you guys. I really love, I actually like hanging out with you guys this 1 hour every week. I have a lot of fun doing it, and yeah, I really appreciate the time that you guys give to me. So thank you so much for that. Yeah, so that's it. So I will keep it short, and I'll say goodbye, and I will see you guys next week. Now let me do this right from the first time. Here we go. A 1, a 2, a 3.
New Lysol Disinfectant Spray Max Cover with 2 times wider coverage kills bacteria on large, soft surfaces.